Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. After narcissistic abuse, or after feeling betrayed, taken advantage of, conned, used, I could understand how a person could come to the conclusion, especially if this has been perpetual in your life, where it's been person after person after person. It's understandable, at least from a psychology standpoint, where you would think that having a big heart has been a curse rather than a gift, okay? Or thinking, you know what, the type of world we live in, it's not really for people with a big heart. I could see where you could come to that conclusion, okay? But in this video, I'm going to challenge that thought, and hopefully you'll see where that's not the case, all right? What I want you to consider is, in those relationships, it wasn't necessarily an issue that you had a big heart. Usually, the issue is being naive, is being gullible, is not having enough emotional maturity, not having proper standards and boundaries. It's not having adequate self-esteem, self-respect, self-confidence. Is those are the things that tend to be the pillars in a relationship that led to your devastations. All right, so imagine having all of those things intact and still having a big heart. You'll be one bad mama jamma at that point, right? You really would. And that's what you want to strive for. Okay? Having those other things intact, because then it will give you the wisdom of knowing how to utilize your big heart. Okay? That is what you want. You want to have wisdom with the big heart. Just like I say, it's nothing wrong with being an empath, but a toxic empath won't know how to use their gift and their powers in a healthy way. They'll be using it and operating out of their shadow side or out of their ignorance. And that's what we want to eliminate, because you become very powerful when you have that big heart and you have the discernment and you have the wisdom of knowing how to use that big heart, okay? So I really wanted to give that disclosure before I get into my list, you guys, of 3 things I want you to do with your big heart, okay? Now, before I even get into my list, I'm going to make another disclosure about your big heart and what I don't want you to do with it. And that's give it up. I don't want you to give your big heart. And some of you are like, it's too late. I've already done it. I've transformed. They won. I've closed myself off. I'm never going to go out of the way for anyone again. I'm never going to do. They're not going to catch me slipping again. I'm not setting myself up for that again. All right, calm down. Calm down. Not trying to trigger anybody here, okay? These are just my suggestions. And then hopefully as we go through the video and I talk about these 3 things here, it will make sense to you why or how you could have this big heart and still be thriving, still be happy, still be balanced, and not being taken advantage of, not overextending and this and that, okay? All right, so those of you who are deciding to keep your big heart, let's proceed with the video. And those of you who haven't, stick around. You might change your mind. You just might. You just might. All right, so the first thing, you guys, that I want you to do with your big heart is give it to yourself as well, okay? Give it to yourself first and foremost, as a matter of fact. All right? A lot of times people with big hearts, they're so externally focused, you guys, and you're just constantly giving all this love and care, and you're not giving enough, and sometimes any, to yourself. All right, God didn't give you the big heart for you to just be ran through the mud and just dragged, and you got to give some to yourself as well. All right, self-love, self-care. Those need to be words that you know. And these are things that you have to put action behind. Don't treat everybody else A1 and minimize, make a big fuss about everybody else's birthday, and then when yours come, you're just like, oh, it's just any other day. You're buying everybody else brand new stuff, but you go to the thrift store for you, and you're just always putting yourself last on the list. Don't even want to, you got to rationalize treating yourself to the things that you want and like. All right, not getting, and this goes beyond material things, of course, not getting proper rest, making sure everybody else go to their doctor's appointments, but you ain't going to yours, getting your checkups. Okay? You got to check yourself sometimes, or giving, you know, let's say you had a gym membership and you're so busy working to take care of everybody else all day, you're not even taking 1% of your day to go spend an hour at the gym and better yourself. You know, we have to check ourselves, you guys, and make ourselves just as much as the priority more. Because if we're not taking care of ourselves and we're not replenishing ourselves, how long are we going to be able to give that big heart away? How, you know, pieces of it, or the energy of it anyway. All right, we're going to be exhausted. We'll eventually be exhausted, you guys. So number one, first and foremost, make sure that you are giving your heart to yourself, loving yourself, having compassion for yourself as well. Why do they all deserve it and not you? Okay? So yes, give it to yourself. That's number one. Number two on my list is learn how to gauge worthiness. Okay? Or basically, you're gauging who can gain access to this big heart and how much of an access should they be getting. Everybody's not on the same playing field. Everybody in the world doesn't deserve the same amount of access to your heart. So you really have to become better at gauging a person's worthiness. Okay? All right, and just because they did something for you doesn't mean you have to do something for them. Life is not a tit for tat. But when someone with a big heart is walking in their shadow side, they might feel obligated. Well, they did this for me, I have to do that for them. And if they're manipulative, this is the energy they're hoping to trigger in a toxic giver or a toxic person with a big heart. Okay? So we have to become better at gauging worthiness. This is how a person with a big heart can be merely dating someone, and they're not treating this person like a girlfriend. They're treating this person like they are the wife. They done jumped all the way up with their big heart into the wife position, and this person is merely dating you, and you guys aren't even committed yet. You know, giving too much too fast. This is all a part of gauging worthiness and gauging who has access and how much. All right. All right, you guys. Number 3 here on my list is boundaries. Boundaries, having the appropriate boundaries. Now that you have gauged their worthiness and how much access they can get, now we need to have boundaries. So now that I've decided you can have access to my heart, now I need to have boundaries around it so that I don't overextend and overgive, you guys. It's not complicated. It is not. It is not. It's very simple, what I'm telling you. But oftentimes, we're overlooking this in our waking life. All right, we have to become more conscious, you guys. More conscious. All right, you guys, if this video resonated with you, go ahead and hit the like button if you like what I'm doing here on this channel. Of course, feel free to subscribe, hit the bell so that you'll be notified when I upload content, which is quite frequently. If you have advice for survivors, or people that cross the paths of this channel, subscribers, on what they should do with their big heart, go ahead down there. And I don't want to see a bunch of negative comments. Hide it. Never let it out. But the Bible does say, guard your heart, for everything flows through it, you guys. And God isn't saying that for no reason. You see how much you can give when your heart is open. All right, it just has to be open to the right people, places, and things. That's going to be, the challenge for most of us. Dissecting and determining appropriately the right people, places, and things that our hearts could be open to. And then knowing how to adjust as needed. Oh, I thought I should open my heart to this, but now I see this is not good. This is bad. So I need to detach from this completely or some. So knowing how to do that as well, you guys, all right? I hope this video is helping you as we are increasing our emotional maturity on this channel. All right, you guys, see you next video.